Hey guys, today should be a lot of fun. I have my studio assistant with me. Oh yes, thank you. Oh yes. Today we're going to discuss closed and open position voicings, voicing tendencies related to register, and drop voicings. Ready to go? Oh yes, here we go. Closed position or close structure, close harmony voicings are any type of root position, first inversion, second inversion, or third inversion voicing, where the chord factors are compacted together as closely as possible within a tight range, almost always within the range of an octave. Here are some examples. One exception to this rule can happen whenever four voices exist in a chord. In order to understand this, it helps to put it in context. Early classical and chorale music is primarily triadic in nature. Imagine writing classical or chorale music with triads in a traditional SATB configuration. Since a triad has only three chord factors, this would correspond to the soprano, alto, and tenor voices, respectively. But what should you do with the bass? Since there is no fourth chord factor in a triad to assign to the bass voice, the root or some other chord factor is doubled down an octave so that every voice in an SATB configured chord is assigned a chord factor and has an individual part. In this instance, the chord is still considered to be a closed position voicing even though all the chord factors, including the bass, span a distance of more than one octave. These examples illustrate these types of closed position voicings. To determine if a chord is truly in closed position, simply look at the distance between the soprano and tenor voices and ignore the bass voice. If it's an octave or less, it's in closed position. Also, in a true closed position triad voiced for four voices, you will not be able to fit another chord factor between any of the three highest voices. In the strictest sense, these rules regarding closed voicings only apply to triads and seventh chords, since chords containing ninths, 11ths, and 13ths, which we'll cover in a later episode, contain more than the four SATB voices and are also by their very nature wider than an octave. Closed position voicings of these chords would typically include the tightest and most compact voicings of these chords in root position as well as their inversions. Although it's possible to invert 9th, 11th, and 13th chords, it's exceedingly rare. Open position, or open structure, open harmony voicings are the opposite of closed position voicings, utilizing wider ranges where the chord factors are spread out wider than an octave. These chord factors can be spread out to as many octaves as you wish. These examples demonstrate the same chords in a prior example but with open position voicings. Notice you can fit chord factors between the soprano and tenor voices. Chords played in the lower registers of the piano generally use open position voicings, while chords played in the higher registers typically use more closed position voicings. This rule also applies to instruments with lower or higher ranges. For example, chords written for a group of trombones in the lower range often use open position voicings, while chords written for a group of trumpets in the higher range often use more closed position voicings. By starting with closed position voicings, you can use drop voicing principles to create unique voicings of root position, first inversion, second inversion, or third inversion chords. This can be achieved by dropping one or more of the chord factors down one octave. They can be applied to any triad or seventh chord, and even 9th, 11th, and 13th chords, which will be introduced in a later episode. You can have drop 2, drop 3, drop 4, and drop 2 and 4 voicings. The drop 2 voicing takes the second chord factor down from the top of the root position, first inversion, second inversion, or third inversion closed voicing and drops it down 1 octave. Here's the drop 2 voicing applied to triads. Here's the root position drop 2, first inversion drop 2, second inversion drop 2. These are the drop 2 voicings as applied to 7th chords. First we start with the root position drop 2, first inversion drop 2, second inversion drop 2, third inversion, and third inversion drop 2. The drop 3 voicing takes the third chord factor down from the top of the root position, first inversion, second inversion, or third inversion closed voicing and drops it down 1 octave. It's somewhat uncommon with triads since it simply drops the lowest note down 1 octave, creating a rather sparse-sounding chord due to the openness between the lowest note and the other 2 chord factors. Here's the drop 3 voicings as it applies to triads. First we start with the root position drop 3, first inversion drop 3, second inversion, and second inversion drop 3. Here are the drop 3 voicings as applied to 7th chords. First the B flat major in root position, then root position drop 3, first inversion drop 3, second inversion drop 3, and third inversion drop 3. Drop 4 voicings apply to 7th chords only since they have 4 chord factors and triads only have 3 chord factors. A drop 4 voicing takes the 4th chord factor down from the top of the root position, first inversion, second inversion, or third inversion closed voicing and drops it down 1 octave. Again, this simply drops the lowest voice down 1 octave, separating it from the rest of the other 3 chord factors. So, for example, here's B flat major 7 in root position drop 4, first inversion drop 4, second inversion drop 4, third inversion, and third inversion drop 4. A drop 2 and 4 voicing also only applies to 7th chords and takes the second and fourth chord factors from the top of the root position, first inversion, second inversion, or third inversion closed voicing and drops them both down an octave. Let's give this a listen. Root position 2 and 4, first inversion 2 and 4, second inversion 2 and 4, third inversion, and third inversion 2 and 4. Drop 2 is often used on triads while drop 2 and 4 are more common for 7th chords. You may have noticed that voicing number 3 in the last episode for the 7th chords is a drop 2 and 4 voicing. Drop voicings vary in their usefulness in various styles of music, so some experimentation on your part is required. You may have noticed that some drop voicings, such as this or this, don't sound so good. There's a reason for this, and we'll discuss why in the next episode. Drop voicings are frequently used by guitarists, and pianists are known to use them as well. They are also often used by composers for large-scale arrangements like orchestras or big bands where an entire drop voicing may be used for a chord in a particular section, such as trombones, for example, while another section, the trumpets, for example, provide a different voicing for the chord. What about drop 1 or drop 1 and 3? Glad you asked. Drop 1 is simply an inversion. Take a look at these examples. Here's E flat minor in root position drop 1, first inversion drop 1, second inversion, and second inversion drop 1. Notice that the root position drop 1 simply becomes the second inversion. The first inversion drop 1 simply becomes root position, and the second inversion drop 1 becomes first inversion. Let's give a listen to the drop 1 voicings as applied to 7th chords. Here's the root position drop 1, first inversion drop 1, second inversion drop 1, and third inversion drop 1. Notice root position drop 1 becomes third inversion, first inversion drop 1 becomes root position, second inversion drop 1 becomes first inversion, and third inversion drop 1 becomes second inversion. What about drop 1 and 3? Let's give it a listen. First on the triads, here's root position 1 and 3, first inversion 1 and 3, second inversion, and second inversion 1 and 3. If you notice, root position drop 1 and 3 is the same as the second inversion drop 2 down an octave. The first inversion drop 1 and 3 is the same as the root position drop 2 voicing, and the second inversion drop 1 and 3 is the same as the first inversion drop 2 voicing. Here's what drop 1 and 3 voicings sound like when applied to seventh chords. First, the root position 1 and 3, first inversion 1 and 3, second inversion 1 and 3, third inversion, and third inversion 1 and 3. Notice root position drop 1 and 3 becomes the third inversion of drop 2 just down an octave. The first inversion of drop 1 and 3 becomes root position drop 2. The second inversion of drop 1 and 3 becomes the first inversion of drop 2. And the third inversion drop 1 and 3 becomes the second inversion of drop 2. Again, these are simply a repeat of the drop 2 voicings, albeit in different octaves sometimes. The truth is that you can drop any combination of chord factors. Drop 2 and 3, drop 3 and 4, drop 1 and 4, one of my personal favorites, and so forth. I'll leave you with this. There are too many variations of drop voicings to list here. Challenge yourself to experiment with drop voicings. You'll come up with some really interesting voicings if you'll only take the time to experiment. The results can be really cool. Until next time. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like and leave a comment below if you have any questions. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you like the music you've been listening to, please be sure to check out my friend Clara Lynn Meyer's album, Sessions, at this link.
Special to me in my life, since the first day that I met you. How could I ever forget you once you had touched my